What's going on, everybody? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I want to talk Frank Martin versus Devin Haney potentially, you guys. Wow, man, this is a major fight that could possibly go down. As you guys know, Frank Martin just came off of you know, uh, a close win over Artem Horyani, and it was a close fight. It was a close fight. Some people thought Frank Martin lost. Some people thought Frank Martin won at the end. He finished very strong in that bout on Showtime, and I just think Frank Martin is definitely is uh he's still, building. I feel like, he's still building. He's still, trying to get, everything right. The scorecards were versus Martin versus Horyani. Excuse me if I'm butchering his name. Is 114, 113, and two judges had it 115 to 112, you guys. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Frank Martin. Dane Raphael says he escapes, pretty much saying that, it was a real close fight. And, he escaped that fight with a win, which he did. Um, I'm going to be honest right now, you guys. I think Frank Martin is definitely, one of the bigger names in the 135-pound division because he's, growing faster. You got Earl Spence that's in there with him, training with him each and every single day. And so when you got guys like Earl Spence training with you every single day, you're gonna do nothing but get better, you guys. You're gonna do nothing but get better. I feel like Frank Martin, he does have to work on some things, like, he has some wasted movement sometimes, and he comes forward without throwing any punches, and he gets hit too. Let's just call a spade a spade. Frank Martin definitely got touched up in this fight. Um, it wasn't just a, clear win. It was, he had to deal with a little bit of adversity, in this fight, man. It was both guys were coming in to win. You guys could see that, Haryani was coming in to win. He was throwing good body shots, good straight jabs, and he was working, top to bottom, man. But when it was all said and done, Frank Martin definitely won in the Georgia scorecards and in the judges' eyes, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I would love to see, Frank Martin maybe step it up one more time um, with a, similar opponent, or, maybe even a, higher ranked opponent, but, to throw Frank Martin in with Devin Haney in his very next fight, I think would be a reach. Frank Martin definitely needs to work on some things. And I'm not saying this to down Frank Martin. I'm just saying this from what I've seen. After watching boxing for so many years, Frank Martin has to definitely work on his defense. And like I've been saying, you guys, Frank Martin, in my personal opinion, I feel like he's gonna do nothing but get better from this. He's gonna learn from this. He's got to know that he's got to turn it on, and he's got to be on at all times in that fight, man. There was times in that fight that he got complacent. He didn't throw the right punches at the right time, and that cost him. That almost cost him. Excuse me, that almost cost him. But I think Frank Martin can get the job done. Um, against good talent, can he get the job done against top tier talent though? And against world title and world champion status, um, of an opponent. Can he get that win, under his belt against a Devin Haney, against a Shakur Stevenson, against a Javante Tank Davis, against a, you know, Vasil Lomachenko. I mean, listen, we could mix and match Frank Martin with all types of fighters, in the division. But right now, man, he's the number one WBC contender in the WBC weight class at 135 pounds. Frank Martin is number one. So he can definitely challenge for that WBC belt. He's got a huge following behind him in the PBC, being that, PBC damn near runs boxing. Close to. They got but I mean, to be honest with you guys, a lot of the 135 pounders are scattered. You got PBC with, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Javante Tank Davis, Frank Martin. You got ESPN with Devin Haney, Tia. Well, they did have Teofimo Lopez at 135, George Cambosos. Like I said, man, it's Shakur Stevenson's over there at ESPN. So, and in Top Rank. So, the 135, smash that like button as soon as you guys come in, you guys. I ain't asking you guys to pay nothing, man. But just smash that like button. Just be kind, man. You know. You don't just walk into somebody's house, do you? Don't you ring the how Blue Blood say you gotta ring the doorbell? But yeah, man, smash that like button, man, for sure. But I just think that Devin Haney, I would favor him to beat, Frank Martin. If they were to fight tomorrow, if Frank Martin and Devin Haney were to fight tomorrow, I would favor Devin Haney. I would favor him. I would favor him for sure. Just because of his body of work, being there, he was able to beat Vasil Lomachenko. Vasil Lomachenko is a tough fight, man, for any of these guys at 135 pounds, you know? And for Devin Haney to beat him shows me that he's ready. He's ready for all of the top guys. Devin Haney's here. He's here. You can say what you want about Devin Haney, about his antics, about, some of the things he says, some of the things his dad says, but he has talent. And you cannot deny Devin Haney's talent. What did he have the best performance that he's ever had in his entire life against Vasil Lomachenko? Hell no. Facts. But it's just like, you guys got to understand Devin Haney is a good fighter. I'm not taking anything away from Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a good fighter, but Frank Martin is the number one contender. And if they were to fight tomorrow, I would favor Devin Haney. Frank Martin hasn't showed me enough against the level of opposition that he's been in there with that showed me that he's ready for that world title yet. After that performance that he just had. Now, mind you, we don't know how good, you know, we don't know how good Frank Martin's last opponent was, Artem. We don't know really how good Artem is because he's only had, you know, a select few of fights. He's only had, 12 fights, But this is the second undefeated fighter that Frank Martin has beat, okay, in a row. That Michelle Rivera when he was 24-0, knocked him down in round 7. Your scorecards were 120, 107, 117, 110, and 118 and 109. I mean, he did a dominant performance in that one. And then he came back with this guy Artem, about 6 months later, 7 months later, and had a close fight. Like I said, Steve Weisfeld, which is a veteran judge, had it 114, 113. And if Artem did not take that knee in that round 12, this fight could have been a lot different. It would have been a split decision win, maybe still for Frank Martin, but it would have been a lot closer. I mean, the guy Artem took a body shot and he took a knee, man. And I really think that saved, Frank Martin, in this fight, man. And, I just want to see, man. I want to see moving forward, can Frank Martin get the job done at the top level? I want to know what Earl Spence is going to do. And can Earl Spence get the job done against the elite at 147, which is Terrence Bud Crawford? You know, It gets no higher than that. He is the ceiling. I feel like at 147 pounds, you got Jerron Boots Ennis, but he's coming in the wings. He's coming. I think he's going to be the next crop of 147 pounders. You got Keith Thurman still there. He's looking like he's going to campaign at 147. He's not going up. He knows them guys hit harder at 154. And it's tough, man. It's tough to fight these guys, man, knowing that they're bringing it every single night, man. Just as much as you're bringing it, they're bringing it too. So Artem showed that he could bring it. Artem showed that he gave the Ghost some problems in there. And like I said, moving forward, man, Frank Martin is the #1 contender. I would love to know what you guys think about this topic. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Please, whatever you guys do, smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, you guys, peace.